The Buffalo No-Huddle brought to you by Genesee Community College and Ficarella's Pizzeria. Get your game time fix.
All right, we're here, but not in the way you're accustomed. It is the Buffalo No-Huddle from the Batavia Daily News and Livingston County News. I am Jimi Jamm from CJ Country. I host the morning show from 6 to 10. And on the other side of your ears, I guess, is that what we're going to say? It's Marc Tillery, executive producer of this show and from the Batavia Daily News. Marc, we're doing what we have to do this week. We can't be on camera, so at least we're in people's ears.
This is definitely the under the weather edition, and I can tell you from Friday's rain and being on the trunk or treats and the Halloween kick with the kids this weekend, the weather definitely the weather won just like the Bills did. Let's put it that way.
Well, speaking of the candy, I mean, they say parents usually take 70% of parents take candy. Did you get a Nate's stash and take some or what?
She got the candy tax. All right, she got the mom tax, and the tax for the dads is the sleep tax these days, man. So I'm quite happy with my take home. A couple hours extra sleep.
What's your favorite candy?
Snickers.
All right, fair enough.
As angry as I am sometimes, man, Snickers is definitely the satisfies my hunger.
Let's talk about satisfying win for the Bills, although it took a half to do it. I think I said last week, I wish we could pull the audio right now. I said the Miami Dolphins might stay with the Bills for a couple quarters. They got something to prove after getting waxed earlier in the season, and they hung tough. It was 3-3 at halftime before Buffalo turned it on. What were your thoughts about the game?
I love the fact when Buffalo wins. Obviously, we all love when Buffalo wins. I just wish it wasn't on the feet of Josh Allen all the time. I want to see that running game do something, but for the most part, the defense stepped up. It was a great game. I mean, I got to hand it to Tua. He might have lost his composure a couple times, but he was clutch on 3rd and 4th downs. Quite a few good plays in that game, but once Miami loses their confidence, and that's where you could tell they're a young team, they lose their confidence, and they just lose the game after that. Yes, it got a little close in the 4th quarter, but Buffalo's defense is always going to bring it to the table every time.
I thought Buffalo, the second half, obviously much better, and they got themselves going and worked it out. And you saw some things change, too, as far as the blocking goes. Early on, Miami was able to put some heat on the Bills' offensive line. They had to shuffle a few pieces out. They didn't have Spencer Brown around. And they may have to move more pieces this week because Feliciano's out. He's going to be week to week with that calf injury. But you saw in the second half, they started making better adjustments. Like they were giving Josh Allen a little more time to operate. And it worked out. It worked out all in the end. And, Buffalo comes away with a win. I mean, closer for comfort than you want, but it's nice when you got a decent team and you don't ever feel like you're in danger, even a 3-3. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and we said this before. Even the best teams have some of the weakest game days, Sundays. Just look at what Derrick Henry did to Buffalo last week, and look at the difference this week. He put up maybe a little over 60 yards on the ground. That was it.
Yeah, and he got a broken foot, and then he was done after that. Derrick Henry's out for 6 to 10 weeks, and I'm wondering what that means for the complexion of the AFC, what it's going to look like going forward.
Look, this takes me back, and I'm not trying to bring video games into real life or anything like this, but this brings me back when we had a league in NFL 2K, and Ricky Williams was just unstoppable back then. And once he broke his leg in the league was wide open after that. So it just goes to show how different it's going to be. I don't care if Buffalo wins a Super Bowl with an asterisk next to it. The fact they're going to win one, they could possibly win one, even if Derrick Henry's not in the league or he's hurt at that point. Hey, so be it, man. A win's a win.
Absolutely. That's an NFL season. Injuries happen, things happen. So let's go over the awards from this past week's game. Who was your most valuable player?
I do want to give an honorable mention for most valuable player to AJ Epinesa. I mean, especially with the news came out today that he that missed field goal by Miami was actually a blocked field goal by him. So, and that marks the first time since 2019 when Starr blocked that 35 field goal attempt from the Cowboys. So, just honorable mention to Epinesa. He had a great game. I gotta honestly give it to my man Beasley though. He wasn't the best QB out there. However, in the slot, he was an X factor, bringing home 10 receptions for $110. Easily Allen's favorite target that day. And I said it a couple weeks back. Cole's going to start step it up. And regardless of what's going on off the field, he's definitely overcome it. He's got a huge weight off his back, huge monkey off his back, and he definitely brought it on Sunday, and that helped the Bills big time. It's sad that Emmanuel Sanders was probably in double coverage. He didn't have the game we wanted to have, but Cole Beasley stepped up, and no matter what wide receivers out there doing it. As long as we're winning, that's all that matters.
Well, you bring up that point, and here's the thing with the Buffalo offense. Any given week, someone can step up, and the offense can morph into whatever it needs to be to develop. And Beasley was my choice, too, for the kind of game that he had, and he was clutching in several situations there, and they relied on him, and Miami simply had no answer. Who was your better luck next time?
Oh, my goodness. I got to honestly say, better luck next time. Do I want to do this to him again? I have to, though. Devin Singletary, man. He lowest yards between he and Zach, and it just he's not putting up those numbers, man. Josh Allen's putting more numbers on the ground than our running backs are, and that's a huge problem for me. He just didn't deliver. I mean, even he was 1 for 1 in receptions as well, so he didn't put up big numbers. And that's our running back. Going into the playoffs, you want to have more confidence in your running backs, but I'm not seeing a lot. And hopefully, next couple weeks, these guys will bring it. But yeah, Singletary's definitely my better luck next time award.
My better luck next time. Emmanuel Sanders, 4 targets and no catches. And, he's been, no matter who's having the strong week receiving wise, there's always guys that get their reps. You know what I mean? Like Stephon Diggs is going to get you 6-7 catches either way. It may not be he may not be the star out of the game, but he's always contributing. And Sanders got shut out a little bit. And, they need him. They absolutely need all the pieces in place to keep things firing and stuff. But I do think the offense has to adjust a little bit when you lose a guy like Dawson Knox. I think the sooner he gets back, the better, just so there's more, let's put it this way, people have to pick their poison with the Bills. You know what I mean? It's the more pieces in place, that makes sense.
Nick Ficarella, the pizza-making university.
Your Bro Seriously Award. Now, the Bro Seriously is what we give for people that just things that make you shake your head, scratch your head, shake your head. It's it could be something that happens within the game, outside the game. But what is your Bro Seriously?
I almost gave it to the Buffalo Karens out there that were having a conniption over O.J. Simpson being at the game. Look, whatever happened off the field happened off the field. It is what it is.
Right.
But going on social media and going on the news and just be like, why is O.J. here? He's part of the team, whether people want to love it or not. He's definitely taken a step back over the years. But I was going to give it originally to the Buffalo Karens, but I didn't, especially after what you saw transpire in the fourth quarter. My seriously, bro, is going out to. And you're taught to fall on the football from Pop Warner through your entire career. Ed Oliver was making a snow angel out there in a Madden-esque move, just not falling on the ball. Luckily, Poyer stepped up the next play and got the interception for us, but man, fall on the ball next time, big guy. I ain't mad at you, but just fall on the ball. So Ed Oliver's definitely my seriously, bro.
It's funny that you mentioned Oliver because he had a really good game. Like he's you know what I mean? Like in all other aspects other than falling that ball, he had a pretty solid game.
Absolutely.
And when you talk about the thing with Simpson, look, when you say still part of the team, I think if the Bagulas had their way, he'd just go away quietly. You know what I mean? I don't think.
Oh, that's funny. But no, I mean, I get it. I totally respect that people don't want him there, but he's a part of the history of the Buffalo Bills franchise. And until the Bagulas say, yeah, but he's there, people are seeing him as a Bills player no matter what.
Well, he's a civilian. He can buy a ticket. He can buy a ticket and go to any sporting event he wants. My bro, seriously, here's the thing. Here was the thing. It was a 4th down attempt, I think, for the Bills. Yeah, it was a 4th. Or a 3rd, but nonetheless, it was a situation where they were going to give up possession, I think, where it seemed like Miami may have jumped the snap count and jumped into the neutral zone. And Josh Allen's pointing instead of trying to get away and make a completion. Just look, I get it. He's our quarterback. I love him. Stop negotiating every single play out there. Stay in the moment. Stay in the play, and the referees will call what they're going to call. You can't ref. That's their job. You quarterback, that's your job. All right, you're good at it. But to me, it's just like he's good at baiting. I don't think he's good at baiting the refs.
I hate to use the term. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. He shows a lot of immaturity out there as an NFL quarterback
at times.
As he grows. He'll either take the sacks or stop throwing running so much. I don't want to see the guy get killed out there. I definitely want to see him develop into a great quarterback. And with that is going to come a few more sacks. It's going to come, hey, I better not run this ball because I might not get it over the line this time. So, I mean, nothing against him. It's just, it's moves like you just said, is definitely why, he needs to mature a lot more in this league. And he will. He's going to be one of the greats. I mean, just like Eli and Peyton were saying this past Sunday, Josh Allen's going to be one of the greats. He might not be in the booth one day, but he's certainly going to be a great quarterback. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings.
Choose a school where the arts come alive, where science and technology thrive, to create something extraordinary. No matter which path you choose, GCC gives you the tools to start your next journey. Because when you choose GCC, your time is now.
All right, and so why don't we do this? Since Alex said he wasn't going to, Alex Brasky refused to say he was going to stay home and be sick, so he can't be part of the show this week, unfortunately. But we'll move on with our analysis. All right, so obviously not doing the full studio. We will move on because the Bills play the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday down in Duval. So here's the deal. The Bills, obviously, we've talked about where they are and what they are. Jacksonville's just had it's been a rough year with Urban Meyer, with the stuff he went through earlier in the season. And this is a team trying to find itself. And it's really tough for college coaches to make their mark in the NFL. I mean, there's a few that have, but I mean, it's tough. And they're having a tough time. And it starts and ends with quarterback Trevor Lawrence, which I think it's sometimes unfair to be saddled when you're a franchise quarterback, being saddled with the woes of the rest of the team. There's a lot of pressure on you. His completion, yards per completion, not great. Completed 59% of his passes last week for 238, a touchdown, and an interception. He has had a 90-plus passer rating in 3 of the last 4 games, so he's coming on a little bit. But, he's going to be up to his you-know-what in alligators this weekend, I think, when Buffalo comes to town.
Let's just say the Wrath of Khan is not happening this weekend, man. It's not. Jacksonville was showing signs of, okay, we could be a decent team. Not a playoff caliber team, but we could be a decent team. And it all went to heck last weekend against Seattle. I mean, after suffering that blowout against Seattle, the Jags aren't even on my radar to score 10 points. And I'll give you my score in a little bit, but up until week 8, they steadily improved, and the loss certainly wasn't a morale boost for that team.
The thing was, I mean, they played Seattle. Seattle hammered them. Geno Smith looked like Josh Allen. He was 20 of 24. He had a 125 passer rating. Couple touchdowns. I mean, he had probably his best game as a pro against Jacksonville.
Hey, Geno. What's funny with Geno is he was going the route of Jamarcus Russell. I mean, that was it for his career. We thought he was done. And I do love to see the emergence of him because I was a big fan of him when he was at West Virginia. I thought he was a great quarterback. And anybody that goes to the Jets just goes there for, dare I say, a career death sentence most of the time. So I'm glad to see Geno's doing something. Even though he's not wearing our laundry, I'm happy to see a quarterback just not fail like that, especially after he was a high pick.
Yeah, for him to go the way of Jamarcus Russell, he'd have to have his training regimen of 4 Big Macs an hour to get to Jamarcus Russell's training regimen. You know what I mean?
He would have to get his fix quite a bit.
He would. He'd be visiting Ficarella's a lot. No, Geno's very a trim quarterback, but yeah, he's been a journeyman. But he had a good game against Jacksonville, which kind of shows you some of the issues they have. Now, surprisingly, from a defensive standpoint, Jacksonville's best player, also a Josh Allen. He had a career high tackles for a loss, 4 of them, and 2 sacks last week. That's a season high for him. He's 3rd career game with 2 sacks, and he plays defensive end and linebacker. He's defensed passes 3 of the last 4 games, so he's definitely a guy there. He's the guy there for them. And Miles Jack, to their linebacker, but there's a lot of deficiencies elsewhere among their defense. I sort of feel bad because I really want to pick apart the X's and O's a little bit, but I sort of feel we're in a situation like we were with Miami. Miami's a more talented team here. Jacksonville's got even less to pick over to really analyze, head to head, what can happen. I mean, the Bills are 14.5-point favorites on the road. That doesn't happen. When 14.5 maybe at home if you're a great team. Yeah, maybe. 14.5 on the road is ridiculous because the home team's already, they assume they're getting 3 as the home team. So, I mean, they're just looking for Buffalo just hammer and nail this weekend.
Buffalo is a dangerous team, man. When you look at that defense and you look at, the fumble recovery by Hyde this weekend, you look at Poyer, you look at the pressure, getting in the kitchen all game against Tua. Like I said, it was a little rough early, but once Buffalo comes together in the second half, they're going out there and they're going to win that game. And against a weak team, and I'm not insulting the Jaguars at all, but against a weak team like Jacksonville, Buffalo is definitely going to have a field day. I'm looking forward to this one.
So why don't we get to our predictions? Let's decide who, what our score is going to be. I think we're both in line with who we think's going to win. But go ahead, give me your prediction here for the game.
Look, it's hard to see Jacksonville getting back on track against the Bills, especially with the high-powered offense and that defense is just going to take Trevor Lawrence to school. Expect another long day for the Jaguars. The Bills have made Florida their vacation home already this season, and I'm predicting more real estate on Sunday. 34-10 Buffalo. They're going to wax Jacksonville.
Wow, they're getting a touchdown in there somewhere, huh? All right.
I'm going to give it to them late. It's going to be one of those lucky ones because it is what it is. Buffalo tends to I can't see 3 shutouts this season, but I would love to see it.
I'm going to go, I hate doing these when you say it's going to be a walk because it usually turns out not that way, but I'm going to give it, Buffalo's going to win 34-9. The Jaguars don't even get a touchdown. It's going to be 3 swings of the leg from their kicker, and that's it because, Buffalo's just too strong. It's too much. We're going to see Trubisky before the end of this game. I really think so. So there you go.
I love hearing that, but no, I mean, like I said, I'm giving Jacksonville the benefit of the doubt. They were a strong team. They were doing okay until the Seattle game, and then all the wheels fell off. But we'll see what happens. I mean, anything can happen at a home game, and we could just wait and see what happens. But I would love to see a shutout. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see on Sunday, I guess.
All right, that's going to do it for the Buffalo No-Huddle for this week. Brought to you by Ficarella's Pizza in Batavia. Brought to you by Genesee Community College. And it's a pleasure as always, no matter where we are, to bring this to you. Please leave comments. Please give likes, give shares. If you enjoy the show, tell other people about it. If you're not following the Daily News on YouTube, please give them a subscription and a like. And stay in touch with us as we push on through. Next episode comes out next Thursday night, and we'll talk about the next game after that and recap this one, all right? So for Marc Tillery, I'm Jimi Jamm from CJ Country, saying good night or good day whenever you're listening, and go Bills.